let me inform you about the test for credit method. If you haven't heard about it, testing for credit is a super simple and easy, it's a stress-free way of earning a degree. On one side, you've got the traditional brick and mortar school, actually attending classes, whether you're going to the class physically 1 to 2 times a week for 12 weeks, that's a semester, or you're attending an online class. That's on this side. Now on the other side, you've got the test for credit method, which includes 2 types of tests: CLEP tests and DSST or Dante's exams. Now, the difference between those two is this. CLEP tests deal only with 100 to 200 level courses that would fulfill the entirety of a 2-year degree or an associate's degree, as they're called. First off, you're going to want to check with the college or individual university that you're planning on sending your scores to, because they're going to vary on the amount of credit that they accept. It may be 45 credits. I haven't seen any more than that. 45 credits is 2/3 of the way to an associate's degree. Now, there are 3 colleges that accept an unlimited amount of credit through tests for credit method. So you can earn an associate's degree or even a bachelor's degree from one of these big 3 schools. Now, you don't have to go to one of those. You can have your scores sent to any of the thousands of local colleges and universities that accept credit using the test for credit method. Now, got Dante's or DSST exams. Now, these things are free for military service members. Whether you're a veteran or currently serving in the armed forces, Dante's tests are free. And what they're dealing with is this: 300 to 400 level classes. Now, these are upper level classes. So you've got the 100 and 200 level classes, which are your CLEP tests, and you've got the 300 and 400 level classes, which are your Dante's exams. So think about it. You can go beyond an associate's degree and use a combination of CLEP tests and Dante's tests to get yourself a bachelor's degree. Here's what you need to know about taking one of these tests: a CLEP test or a DSST exam or Dante's exam. First off, you need an ID. It's just simple. When you go into that college after you've registered for the course and you're getting ready to take the test, you're going to need an ID to even take that test. You're going to need the $87. Now, that's the cost of one course on the CLEP website. You're going to need $20 to $25. That's the cost of the sitting fee. It's going to vary. It can maybe even be less. Finally, you're going to need $10, and that's the transcript fee that the college that you designated your scores to be sent to. That's the transcription fee that they're charging. Now, you can even send all your scores over to any college that you want at once. It works just like a regular transcript. College Board keeps a record of all the tests and the scores that you've taken. And when you get ready, you can send those scores to wherever you'd like. So That's in total more than $100, but compare that $100 to the $100 or more per credit hour at a community college, or it's going to be more at a public college or university. Guys, the test for credit method is a fraction of the cost of traditional college and the traditional degree route. If you enjoy social engineering and hacking, or maybe you just like getting something for a cheap price, this is for you. Guys, it's super simple and easy, and it's honestly the most well-kept secret, and you've never heard about it. And if you have heard about it, maybe you just weren't motivated enough to take the test. But that's the point of me putting this information out here. I realize that there have been other channels that have made videos about this thing, but I wanted to get something recent out there, and I wanted to put a fresh face for it to show you that you can do it. This is for everyone out there. I'm challenging you to take at least one course. Give yourself 6 weeks. 6 weeks, 1 to 2 hours a day. You can pass one of these tests. Using this short time, I want to demonstrate something to you all. I'm going to show you how virtually anyone can take one of these tests and pass one of these tests. In subsequent videos, I will elaborate further on effective study habits and efficient study materials. Now, here's an example from a humanities test that I took. I passed the test, and here's one of the aids that I created to represent a portion of the exam. Now, these exams are divided up into parts. Now, what this represents is about 25% of the humanities exam, and that was art. So you see, I've got art starting here in 1600 and going all the way to the year 2000. So that's a relatively short period of 400 years. Now, I realize you've got prehistory art and you've got a wealth of art before that, but I wanted to deal with the most dominant periods in art, and they've all occurred within the last 400 years. So beginning here, you can see how I've got these movements represented, and I've got the Renaissance, which was a relatively longer art period, and you've got the Baroque actually overlapping somewhat and following with that, and on down here to these latter times and ages here. Now you see this Fauvism, characterized by the excessive use of the color red. A relatively short art movement, very, very minor. But you see how I just demonstrated how you needed to know a concept? I didn't go into the major artists or the key players or the significant works of art of that period. I simply touched on just the concept of this very minor art history. So you see how a lot of these tests, what they're dealing with is in the case of humanities, it's such a huge subject matter. It's very Western dominant, but they admit, or College Board admits on the test, before you even take the test, if you purchase one of their study guides or something like that, they're going to admit that it's rare that anybody would ever know everything on the test. You're being challenged to learn concepts, not much individual facts. If you focus on learning individual facts, you're not going to do very well because you're limited. You can only learn a finite amount of information within 6 weeks. And I say 6 weeks because that's what College Board recommends, studying 2 hours a day for 6 weeks in preparation to take one of these exams. But the way that I've got it represented here is that I'm focused on the concepts of each individual period. And I did that by making this timeline. And also I was familiar with the characteristics of each period there. So that's one way that you can order or organize what you're learning or your study tools. Now that just goes for me. So I'm going to put some more information out there in later videos. Subscribe to my channel, leave comments, The Free Degree. All right, see you later.